And you were very positive on stage earlier when you were talking with Anthony Joshua. You know, it's great to see you guys under the same roof. We did actually want to see you two fight next. What is the reason for that not happening?
What you think? Come on. Let's be honest. What do you think?
Because he's scared of the power?
That's part of the reason, but I think what has held this up major, I wouldn't say money, because he asked for $50 million and we provided that for him, and he did not take it, you know, and the only way you disregard that is try to make a mockery of it, try to make a joke of it, try to make it seem to the public that it's not real. Oh, it's coming from him. Oh, he don't have 50, you know, he don't have 50. He from this and that. That's just a deflection to not like, oh, that's an old moment. They came up with $50 million because he spoke. That's why they don't have Joshua speaking a lot on his own behalf, you know. And if he do speaks, Joshua always slips up and say things that is not appealing to his people, you know, and they had to play cleanup, you know. But most of all, I think it's management, promotion that has really helped. I know for facts. It's been management. It's been promotion that have helped him back from fighting me because, you know, he's a fighter. Of course, many times we'll get to the point where we say no, but then that peer pressure of people, when you gonna fight Wilder? When you gonna fight John? When you gonna? And you hear that, you've been hearing that, it's been over 6 years. The same thing, to say this is the biggest fight in the world. And then come a point in time where a fighter will be like, you know what, forget it. I'm gonna fight because, you know, we don't wanna look like we're lesser than who we are. We're gladiators, all of us. We risk our lives for y'all guys' entertainment. You know, for y'all to have jobs, for y'all to talk about something, for y'all, you know what I mean? We risk our life for that. Yeah. People don't understand that. So with that being said, many times he wanted to fight, he wanted to accept it. But his handlers, and we know, they didn't want it because Joshua is the moneymaker for the company. And if he goes down, so does the business.
And those are the words of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder as he once again, in the latest interview with Daily Mail, shout out to them, that Anthony Joshua did not want to fight him for the longest time because he turned down $50 million and he did not take it. He stated that maybe Anthony Joshua might have wanted to fight him personally, but his management team would not allow it because if it was allowed, Deontay Wilder would knock out Joshua and Matchroom would crumble. Okay? And he also added that other fighters, such as Joseph Parker, didn't want to fight him as well. Okay, and let me counterpunch. First off, Deontay Wilder, it's not a good look for him to stay quiet during an interview, a press conference, and smile and shake hands like a politician, but then yet the first chance you get, you run off and then you state somebody was scared of you. When Deontay Wilder had ample opportunity to mention this information, especially after Jarrell Miller just cheerleaded the whole narrative that Anthony Joshua wanted no parts of Deontay Wilder, is quite sad. Okay? It's not a good look. See, if Deontay Wilder really wanted to, he should have and could have said the same information briefly in the interview. And me personally, I think Deontay Wilder was afraid. I really do. I don't think he wanted confrontation like that. See, the fight's going to happen regardless of what Jarrell Miller says or what Daniel Dubois says or what Anthony Joshua says or what anyone says. That fight's going to happen because there is a very powerful group of Saudi Arabians. Shout out to Turkey, Your Excellence, that are getting these fights done. So him being quiet or being loud or whatever doesn't make a difference because the fight will happen. I want people to know that. The fight is going to happen regardless of what Deontay Wilder says. So there's no danger of someone slipping up and saying, hey, this is what happened 5-6 years ago. Because if it was legitimate now at this interview, it was legitimate at that press conference when Anthony Joshua was there. And I never believed in saying something behind someone's back. That's just chicken shit. You don't see you don't say something and then right after that, you say something. That shades of that Tyson Fury shit where he just stayed quiet with the shades and his mouth crooked, like he was on something. And as soon as he left, he did a 2-hour interview with selected channels. He could have just said, yeah, I think you cheated me, Tyson. I think you cheated me. He didn't say that. He didn't say, Anthony Joshua, I think you were afraid of me for all this time and your management was keeping you from me. He didn't say that either. So I think it's bad on his character because I believe that the minute he would have said that to Anthony Joshua told him to shut the fuck up or something or similar to the thing he said about Jarrell Miller. Why? Because Anthony Joshua was already livid. He was already mad about what Jarrell Miller said, instigating this whole narrative. Okay? And speaking of the $50 million, all right? The $50 million should not, people, be ever mentioned by itself. The minute someone says, hey, Anthony Joshua didn't want to fight Deontay Wilder because he turned down the $50 million offer that he mentioned. Period. The minute you hear that by itself is automatic biased. And I think the thing we should realize now is that Deontay Wilder should be held accountable. Why? Because you cannot mention the $50 million situation, the email that Deontay Wilder sent to Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn requested more information about the email, and it was claimed that no other additional information was said, and it had a 24-hour deadline or a 48-hour deadline, and a bunch of other shit that didn't make sense. It was real kind of touch and go. You know what I mean? It was real delicate, and why would you be that delicate if you really want to fight? That's strange. And the $50 million should always, people, be attached to the $100 million deal or the $120 million DAZN deal that was offered to Deontay Wilder. In essence, here's the irony. Deontay Wilder's right. It was management that didn't want this fight. But guess what? You can't just blame Eddie Hearn if it's Eddie Hearn's fault at all. See, the $100 million or the $120 million DAZN deal, people, was assigned by John Skipper. Okay, he was the president of DAZN. I don't know if he still is, but I know he was. It wasn't Eddie Hearn that placed that deal in play. It was John Skipper. Okay? To refresh everybody's memory, it was John Skipper. And what did Deontay Wilder, Al Heyman, Shelley Finkel, everybody except who? Lou DiBella turned down that offer. The offer was turned down because they started asking stupid questions like, hey, what is Anthony Joshua going to get compared to Deontay Wilder? Shit like that. And Lou DiBella hit the roof, and he should have hit the roof because he was the one that put this thing together because he was the promoter of Deontay Wilder at the time, people. Facts. And he wanted the best for his fighter, which the handlers, Shelley Finkel, i.e., Al Heyman, did not want. And in fact, it was rumored that Al Heyman whispered to Deontay Wilder and said Mayweather's training money or Mayweather's training camp money. So yeah, Al knew exactly what to say to make the deal less appealing. Okay? Because everyone knows Deontay Wilder cannot stand Floyd Mayweather. He doesn't like him. He doesn't care for him at all. Okay, so for Al Heyman to say that, it was genius because he knew, I don't want my fighter from Fox, PBC, Showtime, and with my whole pay-per-view model and my connections to go over to DAZN because I have less power. Okay, So Deontay Wilder, if he can't mention the $100 million, don't mention the 50. Because for the people that say he turned down $50 million, okay, well, what about the $100 million or the $120 million that Deontay Wilder and his team turned down? Counterpunch. So again, people, the next time you hear Deontay Wilder talk about $50 million, add $100 million to that. And there is a total recap of, once again, Deontay Wilder rehashing the $50 million offer that he offered Anthony Joshua. That's why he's convinced that Anthony Joshua never wanted to fight him until now. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!